Which someone kindly reminded me yesterday in the elevator that it's 25 years old and I didn't get your name, but whoever that is, F you for making me feel very old. So the story goes, you know, I went down and I auditioned for Mötley. I was in the Scream. They did a magazine article, and or Nicky did, and he was saying things like, you know, what kind of music are you listening to when you're not on the road? And he goes, man, I really love this band from LA called The Scream. And he was going on and on and on and on and on. And so I had a break. We were doing our, you know, when you go on tour, they do what they call legs. So you'll go out for like 4 weeks and then you come home for like a week or so and then you go back out again. And we were finishing up the leg of a tour in LA. We were doing a show, so I was home for a few days. And I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I figured I'd pick the phone up and I'd call them and I'd say thank you for all the plug that they gave us in Spin magazine. And so I called, finally, I got a hold of their management company, and I picked the phone up and the girl answered and I said, hello, this is John Corabi and from The Scream. And I'd like to say thank you to Nikki Sixx for the, you know, for plugging our band. And the girl goes, who? I go, John Corabi from The Scream, and I'd like to thank Nikki Sixx from Mötley Crüe. So she goes, give me your number, give me your... So I'm like, okay. So I leave her my number, and as I said, I was, you know, hung the phone up, and I'm walking out the door, and as I'm walking out the door, my wife at the time says, honey, the phone rings. She answers it. She goes, you should take this call. No, not going to do it. I'm running late. I got to go. So she goes, as any good wife would do, you know, maybe what I'm talking about. She goes, I think you should take this call. So I come back and I go, hello. And I hear on the other end, is this John Corabi? And I go, yep. And it's like, dude, it's Tommy Lee. And I'm like, what? Seriously? Yeah, and Nikki says, so the two of them are out riding around in this like $27 million like Italian sports car convertible. You know, it had like a fax machine, and back then, you know where they have phones in the car, like 93, it had like a phone, fax machine, it had like a Jaeger dispenser, it had auto suck, it had everything. It was awesome. So anyway, they're out and they, you know, hey dude, Vince isn't with us anymore. We need you to come in on Monday. This is Friday now, right? We need you to come in on Monday, audition. And again, I was like, seriously? Yes, longest weekend ever. So I get there Monday, walk in, very intimidated, for obvious reasons. And we do Shot at the Devil, Dr. Feelgood, Live Wire. We did Helter Skelter, Jailhouse Rock, Smoking in the Boys' Room. And they go, that was awesome. Can you come back tomorrow? Yes, I can. So I come in the second day, Tuesday now, and I walk in, and there's all these guys lined up against the wall in suits and ties, right? So I walk in, and they're, you know, this is our manager, Doug. I go, hi, Doug, how are you? This is our accountant, Chuck. Hey, Chuck, how are you? This is our lawyer, David. David, nice to meet you. This is our lawyer, Mike. Mike, nice to meet you. This is our lawyer, Bob. Nice to meet you. This is our lawyer, Carl. I go, how many fucking lawyers you guys have? They're like, we get sued a lot. Okay, great. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So then I look over on this side of the room, and I was very intimidated by that side of the room, but I look on this side of the room, and I'm like, not intimidated anymore, because there sits Heather Locklear and Brandy Brand. And I'm like, oh, TJ Hooker. All right, so we got this, we know what the room looks like now. So we do the same thing again. Get all done, the girls leave, everybody shakes my hand, all 26 lawyers, boom, out the door they go. One of the last lawyer goes, by the way, you weren't here. And that's a whole other thing, maybe I'll tell you guys tomorrow. But anyway, so they leave, and I'm sitting there, And the guys are like gonna stop rehearsal. We're done. I go, hold on, let's jam. And I'm thinking, if I don't get this gig, at least I can write a song with these guys for the next Scream record, right? So I go, let's jam. Okay, cool. What do you want to jam? So we start jamming blues. So I go, can I use a guitar? And they're like, oh, you play? I go, yeah. So then Mick and I start trading off back and forth solos. We're doing like Honky Tonk Woman by the Stones and this old Aerosmith blues cover called Reefer Headed Woman. We're doing all this shit. And then we start working on a riff. Now, if anybody has the Mötley 94 record, do you remember the record? Okay, so you remember there's a song in there called Hammered, right? So the first night, that night, we had probably 90% of that song written that night. And then we hit a wall. So then Nikki said, hey, I got some lyrics, you know, a few lyrics here and a couple chords, and I just want to see what you can do with this. Can you know, try and jam this next song? So I said, yeah, and so this next song I'm going to play is one of the ones that we worked on that night. So maybe 10 days later, we did a demo, then we did 5 songs. 10 days, 2 weeks later, we did 5 songs on it. Of the 5 songs, 3 of them made the record. One was Hammered, one was Love Shine, and one was this one. Little old man contemplates suicide twice a day. Life's passed him by. Little old woman scared and blind, left alone, desperate time. Life's passed her by. Oh, life misunderstood there. Close your eyes and dream of better days. Misunderstood again. Life's not always fair, or so they say. Little boy with vacant eyes, Daddy won't be home tonight. And I don't know why. His mother, she sits alone, tangled in the web seesaw. She lives lie to lie. Oh, life misunderstood there. Close your eyes and dream of better days. Oh, life misunderstood, yeah. Life's not always fair, or so they say. Little boy with hopeful eyes, Daddy's coming home tonight. So don't you cry. So don't you